Yeah, so a bit of a scary situation a few minutes ago. Well, more than a few minutes ago, maybe about 30, 40 minutes ago, driving back from work. Um, some, I don't know what you want to call them, lunatics, um, gave me a lot of issues on the road. So it's got me thinking, what the hell can I do to protect myself and to protect my car when I'm driving? And what can I do which is going to be better than a standard sort of dash cam? So just give you some backstory on what's just happened. So I'm driving home from work and I'm at the traffic lights, and I'm on the left side of the traffic light. So it's a two-lane on the left side of the road. Okay, so I'm on the left and someone pulls up on my right, heading in the same direction, and some chap on a bicycle decides to go across the crossing where the lights are, which we've stopped at. And when the lights turned to green, it meant that I was able to pull away first, because the guy on the bike was in front of the guy next to me and he couldn't pull away. The thing is, the road merges, so it merges from the left to the right, and then the road on the left turns into a bus lane. No one's allowed to enter. So I was ahead, so I start to merge to the right, and the guy who was on my right, who was just behind me because I took off first, decides to tailgate me, and he's right up my arse basically, and obviously he wants to get past me, but I'm already at the speed limit for the road, and I'm not prepared to go back to the left of the road, which is rapidly disappearing, and because obviously it's merging. So I had the right of way, I was at the correct speed, so I continued, and I had to move to the right in order to stop myself from going into the bus lane, which was obvious to the guy behind me. He was trying to bully me, and he was trying to stop me from being able to turn or drive onto the right of the road. So then he starts papping me and giving me a load of hassle from behind. Then he decides to drive to the left of me. He passes me in the bus lane at speed, aggressively pulls out in front, and then puts his brakes on, which of course caused me to put my brakes on. Then he takes off again. So I'm going down the road and he keeps playing this put the brakes on trick. And further down the road, we come to another set of lights. Now I'm having to drive, well, basically there's a roundabout there, and I want to take the fourth exit. So I want to be on the right side of the road, because on England, that's just how the roads work. We drive a different way, so I won't be on the left side of the road, I'll be on the right side of the road to take the fourth exit on the roundabout. And what this guy does, because he's in front of me, he kind of pulls his car further away onto the line between his part of the road he's occupying and the part of the road I want to get onto. So he's trying to basically stop me from taking the lane. And I managed to crawl past him, and I look to the side of me and I see there's two, I thought they were black guys, but I think one of them was definitely Asian, and they've got around their heads like an orange sort of scarf. It's hanging down. They look like gang members, and they start swearing at me, giving me this, signals, hand signals and things, shouting lots of abuse. And so now the traffic, I'm caught behind quite a bit of traffic, and it's crawling slowly forwards, and they keep crawling next to my car to the left of me. They're crawling along, and they're trying to intimidate me by feigning an attack into my car. So it's like they're trying to basically crash into me. So they're moving in basically, and they keep moving in like this to try and frighten me. So I've got a message here, I've got to get rid of it. So if I'm not so coherent, it's just I'm a bit shocked still. So if I am jibber jabbering, forgive me. But yeah, so they were doing this nonsense, and then moving ahead, swearing, shouting, hitting my car window over here with their hands through their open car window. And then I stopped at some more lights, and just before the island, and I just thought, you know what, these guys, they're probably gang members or something. Why is this not focusing now? Let me just see if I can. I've got this on some sort of ridiculous autofocus mode. Oh, that's the brightness level. Dear. Anyway, yeah. So I'm thinking they're gang members or something. Now there's a lot of white guys being beaten up in England right now, especially lone white guys, with everything that's going on, and I just didn't want to be one of them. So anyway, I locked my car doors internally, and because I'd stopped now in traffic, I prepared for the worst. And then I saw one of these thugs coming along down the side of my car, and he's standing there, hitting my window, shouting obscenities at me, telling me how he's going to do things to me or whatever. He wants me to get out of the car. I'm not going to get out of the car because there's not a chance in hell I'm going to get out of the car to deal with this guy who could have knives, who's clearly part of a gang, when there's a car behind me which could be, what, at least, what, there's one more at least, but there could be as many as 4 more of them. There could be 3 in the back of this big car. So I weren't going to deal with that. So eventually he went away. I drove off shaking, angry, to be honest with you. I'm not just saying this, but I'm a fiery person, and part of me just wanted to get out and deal with him one-on-one, which I shouldn't do, but that's how angry I was, because they'd basically harassed me for a long time up to this point, and I'd gone past being afraid, and I was at the point now of fight or flight, and the fight response was kind of trying to take over. But anyway, I did the right thing, because if I'd have got out, who knows what would have happened to me. And I'd have probably lost my job as well, because I work in healthcare, and that wouldn't have gone good, and a criminal record potentially, and all the rest of it. So I definitely did the right thing, but it did scare me. So it's got me thinking, if I had footage of that, now I do have, this is a Citroen C3, and I do have a webcam built in. The thing is, it's not the most reliable of webcams. You have to work it through an app on your phone and all that. It's just a bit fiddly, and it's a bit of a pain in the backside, to be honest. So what can I do to protect my car with cameras, and what can I do to protect me with cameras? Because I thought to myself at the time, if I had a camera inside the car that I could easily activate, I could have shone it on this guy, I could have pointed it at him, I'd have had his face, I'd have caught what he was saying, and I could have used that as evidence if things went any further. A dash cam's great, but you can't do much with it. It's kind of stuck there. And I also thought, if I have a camera in the rear, how useful would that be? Because I'd have caught him behind me, tailgating me and harassing me from behind as well. So I'm thinking now, because this phone is a Samsung, what is it, a Samsung S20 Plus. It has this fingerprint activation thing, and you know, when you're trying to drive, if I wanted to use this to record a video of what was going on, I'd have had to have picked the phone up, which would be illegal. Then I'd have to unlock it with a fingerprint reader, which is absolutely unreliable. That might take 3 or 4 attempts whilst I'm being attacked, and then I've got to somehow get the phone on him. That's not a viable option. So I'm thinking, I've got a GoPro 7, and normally I mount it here if I'm like doing some videos, so I can do some like time-lapse videos and things of me just driving to a destination. And what I'm thinking now is I might actually have a GoPro in the rear of the car, because I know you can get webcams for your car, and basically they fit here or here, and they do actually record a rear view, the view you kind of get like that. That's the kind of view you get, and it magnifies it a few times so you can see behind the car. All well and good, but it has a very limited view. And sometimes these people, when they're trying to come real close past the side of your car, they might hit your car, and that's not going to pick it up. So you need something better. So I'm thinking a wide angle GoPro 7 or 8 on the back. Keep my original dash cam on, and then have a GoPro here. Now, I don't have to have that switched on, but what I'm thinking is this. In the future, if I'm attacked, I can just grab the GoPro, switch it on, and I can point it. I've got it there. It's evidence, basically. So if I'm being attacked from the side, it's some kind of evidence. It's really dodgy. On the roads now, it's just getting really bad, the amount of road rage and violence. But this is not the first time I've had a run-in with some lunatics, some sort of gang members, if you like, on the road. This happened about, what, 2 weeks ago. I'm on a roundabout, the same roundabout, in fact, that they attacked me at, and another similarly large car with people in the back who are clearly gang members. You can tell by the way they were dressed. Tried to cut me up on the roundabout, and then aggressively drove past me and started playing a few silly tricks with me, and then they drove off. It's like they're trying to take the streets over. So It's a bit of an odd video, it's not a review or anything, but and it's going to be a pain in the back end having to continuously put batteries in a GoPro, and then each time I go out, use the GoPro. But it's not something I'm thinking I'll use all the time. Maybe in certain areas around town it's the best place to, then it might be useful to have it. But if I'm driving to my parents' house, for example, or if I'm going somewhere scenic and I'm not going to be in gang controlled areas of Leicester, which is a city in which I live, then I probably won't need to have the GoPro. But it's there, and I think unlike a dash cam, it's something that I can grab hold of and I can use it, so I can point to the side. If there's a crash, I can instantly take it out, I can switch it on, and I've got the damage recorded, and that will probably be of a benefit. So I'm thinking a GoPro at the front, GoPro at the back. And I ride a bike, and it's not, every day I ride a bike I have a GoPro on my helmet or on the front of the bike, and I have one on the back. So there's nothing unusual about that. I have a GoPro Session and a GoPro 7, and it's been really useful to have. So I don't see it as being any different really to kind of using a bike, and that's how I'm going to try and look at this. So I'm going to use these cameras to protect my car, so I'm going to have to buy a GoPro now, but I think it'll be worth it in the long run, and obviously I'll be able to use the GoPro for other things. But yeah, it's been a bit of a dodgy sort of experience. I'm still a bit shaken. Got back at a double cappuccino, and yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to protect my car with GoPro cameras for the reasons I've stated. It makes sense to me, and they're relatively sort of cheap, aren't they? You can buy them now for just a few £100 or a few $100s. You don't have to have the top spec one, but I think I might get a GoPro 8 just because I can use it for vlogging as well, with the little vlogging screen and all the rest of it. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'll let you know how to get on, and I don't know if anyone's even going to watch this video, to be honest. Probably get about 5 views, but it's been interesting. But I'm going to check my dash cam on the front of the car to see if it actually recorded anything, and if it did, I'll put the recording in this video, so you will see that. But if there's no recording, if the dash cam didn't work, then that's further proof. But perhaps a GoPro isn't the end of the world, and it might be worth getting one. The good thing about using a GoPro for a dash cam, and I'll say this before I go because I think it's important, is because whilst it does record in 4K, and that 4K video only lasts for something like 40 minutes on a battery, for a normal kind of hop around town, especially in an area that might be a bit dodgy, it does mean that you can crop in 4 times and still have that 1080p resolution. So for people, you can get people's faces, basically. You can see what they look like, and that could be really useful. With a normal dash cam, it's typically 1080p, and you're not getting much of a resolution there, especially not to crop in and to see those kind of details. So for me, I think the blooming focus keeps going off. So for me, that's the important thing, to be able to kind of crop in as well. And for longer journeys, I can record in 1080p in super view, and it's getting a hell of a lot of the environment, even more than most dash cams. A lot of dash cams, they're like 120 degrees or something like that. So that'll be really useful as well. So I'll let you know how I get on with it, and I'll do, even though the GoPro's been out for ages, I will do will I do an unboxing? Probably, but I'll explain in the unboxing what I'm doing, so you know. But yeah, I think how long have I been talking for now? 13, nearly 14 minutes. I bet people switched off ages ago. But yeah, an experience. I'm gonna go home now and have a curry. Catch you later, and stay safe out there. Bye. So here it is, the lights. There's the guy on the bike crossing. Lights are on green. I pull ahead first. I'm off down the road. I'm clearly in front. I'm now pulling over to the right because it's a merging road with the bus lane now on the left, and I have right of way. I'm at the correct speed, and there they go. So up to this point, they've been giving me a lot of hassle. They've been papping my car. Now they drive past me in a very aggressive manner. They're still, at this point, they're still hitting the horn. They're still giving me aggro in that regard. And as you can see, the guy's driving very erratically. He's not really steering in a straight kind of a course. Just really dodgy sort of a situation here. And he's still sort of papping me, sharps very aggressively. Now, look, he brakes very aggressively. Now just there, as you can see, he's not giving me enough space to get through. As I try to get through, there he goes, there you see him, and he just tried to ram my car. Okay, so at this point now I'm thinking things are starting to kind of get up a level, and this has getting a bit silly, really, just for the fact that I happen to be ahead of him when the lights were green. So now he's at the side of me, he's hitting my car. You can't see this, but he's hitting my car on the left side with his open window and his hand on my car. And now you can just see him. Look how close he is to me. Look how close. It looks like he's trying to ram me. He's hitting the car. He's swearing. He's giving me a load of abuse. There's a few of them in the car. Now I'm really starting to get worried. I'm thinking, where is this situation going to end? You know, because this is really dangerous, silly sort of driving, very childish. So now, as you can see, I'm getting close to a roundabout at the bottom, and I'm thinking, please stay on green, but then they turn on red, which means I've got to stop. So now I lock the car on the inside and I wait for the inevitable. So now I have to wait here. So one of these lunatics comes now. Obviously you won't see this bit, but he's actually there now, hitting the side of my car on the driver's side, telling me to get out, telling me he's going to like beat me up and all this kind of stuff, and I'm enduring that. So yeah, so if I'd had a GoPro or something that I could have easily just picked up and just kind of, it would have recorded the sound, it would have recorded what he was saying, all the threats, it would have recorded what was going on as the car was being hit from the left side as I was driving down the road, and I would have felt a lot safer. But I wasn't prepared to get out of the car, obviously, and deal with that guy, and then have maybe a car full of these thugs descend on me. So yes, that's the reason I've made this video. And like I said before, I'm glad I got the footage on the actual webcam from my car. But I think GoPros, whilst it's going to be an extra little bit of a thing for me to do, they'll definitely be worth having in the future. Catch you later.